Hi there. And today we're going to talk about something that goes by a lot of different names. It's always the same, just has a different name. Sometimes it's called the law of attraction. It's called the power of intention. It's called the secret. It's called manifesting. And we're going to get a little deeper into this than we have in the past. And because of that, we're probably going to break this episode down into a couple of different parts so that we can really get down to the core of what this really is and why it works, how it works, so that you can get this to work for you. The one funny thing is that once you start practicing it and start using it, you're going to find that it is always showing up. It shows up in some of the funniest things. It shows up in conversations that you're having. It shows up in songs you're listening to. It shows up in a television show. It shows up in something that you are reading. It shows up in a commercial. It shows up always. It is always there. And the funny thing is why it's always kind of referred to as a secret, or why that terminology kind of got popular with this, is because even if you understand the concepts of this, or you have heard of this, it still ends up being a secret because most people don't believe that it works, can't get it to work for them, or just don't know how to get it to work for them. And so it always seems to just stay a secret. But it's not. It works. It works every time. It's just a matter of you and your perception of the reality that you are creating. It doesn't matter. I've read many books, and it is one thing I found funny is that I might be reading a book about a business or about a CEO or about a musician or whatever. And when they start talking about what it is that made them successful, or how they became successful, whether they realized it or not, the one core thing that they always have in common is that they were using these principles, whether they knew it or not. And this is the thing. In your life, you already are using these things. These things are already the cause for the things that are showing up in your life, whether you've realized it or not. You may have just never put a name to it, or ever really thought too much about it, or actually even paid much attention to it. But it always is showing up. It's just the way it is. It's your connection to life. And so we're going to go over some of what I have here in the book that I wrote. And we're going to try to go a little deeper into some of these subjects, and some of the subjects that will really explain the hows and whys all of these principles truly work. The core of this is really simple. You are your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. And your thoughts, with your actions, pull these abundances into your life. And one of the things that we need to really start getting a little deeper on is vibration. Vibration is sometimes they call it the law of vibration. The law of vibration is how all of this stuff really works as far as pulling things in. You don't realize this, but most of the thoughts that you are having are destructive. And we've gone over this with the different episodes, the conditioned behaviors, limiting beliefs, all of the obstacles that we had covered earlier in this series. All of these things are things that we refer to as obstacles. These things that have put these challenges in front of you, and it's the way that you have dealt with those challenges. There's a reason why some of the things that you want in your life are never going to manifest, regardless of how well you understand this. And it all really stems down to is, what is the relationship that you have? What is the relationship that you are having within yourself, your soul and your body? What is that relationship like? What is your relationship like with the people that are in your life? What is the relationship like with the world and the way that you are perceiving it? All of these things will change your vibration. Vibration really comes down to very simple things, such as you are always in a state of motion. That's just the way you are. You're made up of trillions of cells, and each one of those cells is in motion. They are vibrating, and they listen to every single thought that you have and every single action that you do. It gets mirrored, it gets reflected out into life, and life responds accordingly to what that is. And the reason why some people will never get any of these things to work for them, or they will have trouble manifesting certain things, is because they have an unhealthy relationship with whatever that is. There's something that is holding them back. It may be the money. It may be that they just have a unhealthy relationship with money within their thoughts. Somewhere someone may have told them, oh, they'll never be rich, or they've been sold that line, and so therefore they don't feel that they ever deserve it. And see, that's key. That is one of the biggest keys to ever get any of these things to actually work positively for you. And this is that relationship that you have towards those thoughts. Because if you don't believe that you deserve it, it does not matter how much you want it. And what you need to do is you need to change that language. We talked a lot about this. Changing the language that you use when you talk to yourself and you talk to others. That language, in turn, creates that vibration within that cell, within your body. And that's what radiates out of you. And that vibration, then, if it's a healthy vibration, it is going to attract like-minded things. So if you have a healthy relationship with your thoughts about money, then you are going to be able to attract more of that money into your life, because like things attract to one another. Just stop and think about this. And you know this to be a fact, that you can tell people that are happy or that content or that have a good relationship within themselves and within others and within the life that they are having. They shine. And you've seen this. You may have actually shined at points, whether you realized it or not. But you have shined, or they shine. And you can see it the moment that they walk in a room. Everybody can see it. You know, the same way if you have unhealthy relationships, unhealthy thoughts about things, well, then you can see that person as well. It's the way that they walk in the room. It's the energy that they are putting out. It's their vibration. You can feel that. And this is one of the keys to getting all of this to really work for you. The first thing is, in manifesting, is you have to have a healthy relationship with that thought within yourself. If you do not have this in line, none of this is going to matter. You will get things here and there, but you will never be able to get the true abundance that you want or that life has available for you. You got to understand, life does not understand a lack of. It doesn't have a need for anything, but you do. And it's that relationship that you are having with those thoughts. You need to think about that, and you need to be able to deal with those. Any of those ones where you don't feel that you are worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're just not bright enough, you do not deserve that. Because of those things, you need to go back and you need to work on those. You need to change that language. You need to change that thought. You know, try to understand where that thought came from in the first place, and then deal with that thought. Let it go. When it comes to money, I never have to worry about money. It's not because I'm rich and wealthy. It's because of my relationship with money. I already know that the money is going to show up when I need it, and I don't worry about it. I don't stress myself out over it. It just will show up, and it always works. And I think of money as my best friend. My best friend likes to come hang out with me, and it always does. You know, and that's one of those things. It's changing the way that you are thinking about these things and about that relationship. You know, most of the time when we hear the word relationship, we're thinking about like whoever it is we're seeing, whoever it is we're dating, whoever it is we're married to, you know, and that's not the relationship. The relationship you need to fix and that you need to make sure is good is that relationship between you, your desires, and your thoughts. If you do not have these in line, I'm telling you, you will not get this stuff to work for you. It may sound harsh, and you may get a few things to work, like I said, and that you're going to believe that it's working for you, but you're selling yourself short. You don't truly understand what it is that you will be able to do if you just dealt with that relationship. And that's what the law of vibration is. Like I said, every cell in your body listens to absolutely everything. Everything you do and say. Every intention that you have, it vibrates that. And that's called a frequency. That vibration. And the higher you vibrate, the higher that frequency is, the more in harmony you become with not only yourself and with life around you, but with all life. Life is always about connections. And the only way to truly make those connections is to be able to see them and to be clear. And that comes through that vibration. It comes through that frequency. And when you have a frequency that is a higher frequency, you have elevated your level of thought up. And when you do that, you shine, you glow, you attract things into your life. The higher that frequency is. And that's the law of vibration. You have to have all of this stuff worked out and straight, that relationship. And all of this stuff then will start flowing to you in a way that you will never have believed. It is really, truly a miracle, or just fascinating as how all of this really works. So that's the core of what the law of vibration is. It's the frequency at which you're going to send out that signal, the frequency in which you are going to be speaking to life and having it respond. And it doesn't matter what that thing is, whether it be trying to attract a mate, or, you're trying to get more money, you're trying to get a car, a house, whatever. That frequency will be matched and the abundance will come your way. We'll get a little bit deeper into this and go back over some of this as we keep on talking. I'd gotten a lot of these things to work for me early on. And a lot of these things I didn't realize that I had working for me. But I was always still a little stuck. And this right here, that law of vibration, that was one of the things that was holding me back. Because I had unhealthy relationships with the thoughts that were in my head and what I was putting out into life and what life was responding back to. You have to understand, when you sit there and you use negative words or limiting language, everything is emitting from there. Life itself does not understand English. It does not understand language. What it understands and what it responds to is vibration. It responds to the frequency at which your thoughts are being projected out of you into the universe. I want you to think about that for a little bit. And this is really what I tell you, we're going to continue on, but that's what I want the homework for this episode to be. I want you to start thinking about your thoughts in that relationship. I want you to ask yourself, do I have a healthy relationship with this thought? And if not, I want you to fix it. That way you can get all of these things to be able to work for you instead of holding you back. So let's go over a few more things that I have down here. These principles are responsible for everything that shows up in your life. Your thoughts manifest and create the world you live in. Even when you have been on autopilot, you have used the law of attraction to manifest your reality. Your responsibility to those actions has gone unnoticed and unacknowledged, and you have been lost to the fact that you have the power to be able to create all of this stuff. Everything you have in your life right now at this moment is exactly what you have intended. Exactly. Now I know that may sound a little harsh in that, because, you may not feel well about your life. And those are the things that you need to fix. That's that vibration. You need to go back and get that relationship healthy, because all today is a reflection of yesterday. And yesterday is just a reflection of the day that's before. And that reflection is just a manifestation of the thoughts that you are putting out into the world. And that's the relationship that you need to get fixed in order to be able to move forward. It can sound impossible, like it's a magic trick or from a sci-fi movie or a fantasy book. There are a lot of people out there who don't believe this. And for them, they are right. They think it won't work. It can't work. You may be one of these people, or you know one of these people if you've ever talked to somebody about this and they've said, oh, well, I tried that, but it just doesn't work, or, they kind of scoff at you. Once again, why it's called a secret. When they fail to see any results, this proves them right. They feel justified and they continue to lead with their ego. They knew it wouldn't work, and in their minds, they got what they wanted. They failed to see that life did work. Life gave them what they wanted. See, that's the way life works. See, people like that, they automatically already think, oh, well, this isn't going to work. And so when they try it and it doesn't work, they actually get what it is that they wanted. They get what their intention was, which is they didn't want it to work. And so it doesn't. And then they feel justified in being able to say, see, I told you, it never works. It's just magic, or it's just farce. There's, these people are all kooks or something, And the thing is they failed to realize that it did work. It gave them exactly what it was that they expected. They expected for it not to work. It didn't work. How many times have you gone and tried to do something and you've sat there and thought, oh, this isn't going to work out, or, I'm going to fail at this. And then you end up failing, and then you go, see, why did I bother? Well, the thing is that that's what you asked life for. That's what your intention was. That was the vibration and the frequency that you put out. And so life mirrored it. You didn't want to win. You didn't think you deserved to win. And so you didn't win. It's just that simple. You manifest everything in your life. Currently, what your life is your responsibility. That's when we talked about taking ownership. You create this reality, and you can change this reality. It's all about those relationships. Get those relationships in line and let those things go. That way, what you're asking for and what you're intending and what you're pushing out there is clear, precise desires. And life will mirror that back. It always works. The frequency at which a vibration occurs creates a wave. It has a cycle that is being broadcast. For our thoughts, life is the receiver. Think about it like a radio. You turn on the radio and you tune it to a station such as 99.5 FM. This is the frequency that the station is broadcast on. A song is played for your enjoyment. But where did it come from? How did it get to your radio? It was sent through the air on radio waves. Those waves were created by an antenna down the line connected to amplifiers and equipment, taking a vibration from a needle going through the cut grooves on an album, turning it into an electronic signal. That's a very simplified example, but it demonstrates how your thoughts connect to life. You don't give much thought to it when you turn on the radio. You just trust that it's going to be playing a great song, a song that you love, a song that'll pick you up, a song that'll make you smile, maybe dance. But it can only play what the station is broadcasting. So here's the question. What are you broadcasting? Your thoughts create your reality. Right. Do you need to change the record? And this is going back to that relationship. Think about that. Think about it all as a song being played on your radio. And the fact is that, the station can only play what's recorded on there. It's only going to vibrate out what was cut into that vinyl and then broadcast it out. Just like you. You can only broadcast out into the world what you have inside. And that's what needs to be fixed. That's where this law of vibration comes in. That's where you need to start concentrating on. You need to be able to play a record that's going to make you smile, one that's going to make you dance. And you need to be able to deal with all of those obstacles and deal with the fact that you do deserve all of this. You deserve everything. You deserve everything to your heart's content. So until then, you take care.